Five up front? What could go wrong? This one is called the 3-2-5 Libero 2 AM, or also called the best possession tactic 3-2-5. So as you can see, five up front, very attacking. You got a three line back, two in the midfield. So we're going to see how it does with our three teams, as usual, of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League, and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So with all that said, let's just jump in and see how they did. Now, this tactic was tested with Manchester United at least a half season, it looks like, on the Steam page where I got this from. I did not create this. I am getting this directly from the Steam Workshop. But they did, again, it looks like a half season. They were tops of the league with 43 points. They looked like they were having a fantastic season. It looks like it's heavy in the shots. It looks like it's strong tackling with fewer tackles in there. So we're going to see fewer passes allowed against them, but lots of passes completed for them. So we're going to see how they did. They were at 14-1-2 at the time of recording. Again, I'm not sure why they did a half season and not a full season, but Liverpool right now, 77 points, a little bit below average, but still second place is actually pretty good for them. 84 goals, not bad. That is not an attacking number though for them. Usually they're a lot higher when they are doing an attacking, a really full-blown attacking tactic. Aston Villa in 8th place with 58 points is definitely low for them, but 84 is actually not too bad. But they get Conference League next season, so. But let's dive into Liverpool's schedule and see how that happened. Well, unfortunately for Liverpool, they did beat Aston Villa handily in the Carabao Cup 4th round, got to the quarters, and lost out against Middlesbrough. But they got to the FA Cup final against Tottenham after beating Aston Villa again and lost 1-3 in the final. Ouch. And unfortunately, coming up, runners-up for a third time this season against Bayer Leverkusen, 2-0 in the Europa League final. Like I mentioned, runners-up in the league, runners-up in Europa League, runners-up in the FA Cup, quarters of the Carabao Cup. It was an okay season, but definitely should have done something better. Squad-wise, they still have some in the green, not as many as we'd like though. 26 goals for Nunez, 24 for Salah, assist 27 for Salah. That is huge though. 7-4-3 for Salah, 7-2-8 for Van Dijk. Switching things up to Aston Villa this time around, lost both times against Liverpool as we saw, 5-1 in the Carabao Cup 4th round and 2-4 in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And unfortunately out against Eintracht Frankfurt in the round of 16 in the Conference League. So sure, they get Conference League next season somehow, 8th place I guess with all this, but overall, not great. Again, they've got green. More than they usually do, but 19 goals for Zaniolo is tops, 15 for Diaby, assists 14 for John McGinn, 13 for Diaby and for Leon Bailey. An average rating, you got Zaniolo with a 7.22. So now overall, Liverpool for the data hub, they've got some attacking numbers. The goals are just down. Defensively, they got a couple of pieces that they're missing, but overall still, pretty nice on that side. Goals per game, 2.21, down from their Manchester United, which was at 3.6 something. 1.21 conceded, 1.27 XG against. And since they showed it on the Steam Workshop, they showed a bunch of screenshots of their data hub. Aggressive shooting, clinical shooting, Liverpool is up here. Manchester United was over here at this stage. For tackling, Liverpool is down with fewer tackles, stronger tackles, but you got Manchester United way over here on their test. Now for passing dynamics, Liverpool actually beating Manchester United in the fewer passes allowed group, but pretty nice. So overall, the data hubs do so far for Liverpool and Manchester United, at least in the test. They look fairly similar. Manchester United definitely had a better season though. And analysts report just because why not? Plus 20 clear-cut chances. Not very many, but chance every 71 minutes. Aston Villa's data hub, yeah, the attacking side is definitely down, as is a lot of that defensive pieces. But 2.21 goals per game, 2.03 conceded, 1.7 XG against. And a plus 28 clear-cut chances once every 55 minutes. Premier League stats, Liverpool in second with 2.03 points per game. That is second. Interesting. That's pretty low for them. Aston Villa with 1.53 in 8th. Most goals, Aston Villa and Liverpool tying for 484. Fewest shots against, Liverpool in 6th with 342. Most possession, Liverpool with 64%, Aston Villa with 60%. Most dribbles made, Aston Villa the only one in the list with 591. Best pass completion, Aston Villa in 5th with 89%, as does Liverpool in 6th. And most shots for Liverpool in 2nd with 577, Aston Villa in 6th with 507. But now, how did our championship side of Ipswich Town fare this time around? 3rd place. Unfortunately, they got to the playoff spots. they don't do well in the playoffs. But 95 points, 113 goals is actually not a bad tally. It just was an up season for Southampton and Leeds, unfortunately for Ipswich Town. But season-wise, you can see FA Cup 4th round is where they are out against Everton, and Carabao Cup quarterfinals against Arsenal 0-2. But they did get to the playoffs, like I mentioned, 0-5 against Norwich, and then a 2-all draw at home is all they can muster. So overall, 3rd place, I'm not unhappy about that. But again, you get to the playoffs, they don't perform well in the playoffs in probably 80% of my saves. They usually just fail out, unfortunately. If they don't get that 1st or 2nd automatic promotion, they're done. But FA Cup, Carabao Cup, quarterfinals to the Carabao Cup, not bad. Arsenal, what do you expect? Yeah, but overall, I'm not expecting much. Squad-wise, they actually have some green here. 27 goals for Hurst. I love when he scores. Assists 19 for Westburn, 16 for Marcus Harness. An average rating a 7.27 for Marcus Harness. Championship stats. 3rd place Ipswich Town get 1.98 points per game. Most goals in 1st with 115. Fewest shots against. Tied for 6th with 442. Most possession in 1st with 64%. Dribbles made in 7th with 738. Best pass completion in 5th with 89%. And most shots for in 4th with 626. So let us take a look at this tactic itself. We have a sweeper keeper in support is where we start. Wide center backs on the left and the right in defend with a libero in defend in the middle. A ball-winning midfielder in support next to a DM in support. A winger in attack on both the left and the right. 2 attacking midfielders in support. And then a complete forward in attack up front. Attacking mentality, in possession attacking with his wide, play out of defense, passing directness is much shorter, tempo is slightly higher, mixed crosses, play for set pieces and be more expressive, in transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly and distribute to the center backs, and then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent your goalkeeper distribution, and step up more. But now how did it do for our 3 teams overall? Well, I mean, the data hub shows that the data is there, the pieces are there, kind of lining up with Manchester United in their test. But again, 17 games, not a full season. I'm not really sure why that happened, but they were doing really well. Our teams, well, I mean, Ipswich Town in 3rd place is not bad. Liverpool in 2nd is not bad. Aston Villa in 8th is not great. But again, the data lines up. So if you have the players, if you have a good season where your players aren't injured all the time or really clamoring to leave and you don't have to bring players in, you might have a good season with this. You got to play it to actually try it out. This is just a holiday that I'm doing for the entire season. If you got control of this, did all your own changes and everything like that, you would probably have a better job doing, than what we see here. But again, that is a lot up front and kind of a lot missing in the back. If you've got that up front talent, I think you might be golden. But try it out, see how it works. If you do try it out, let us know how it worked for you. But that's it for me, Sefin FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.